They can't control us all. They can't control us all. They've been trying to figure out a way to control us all. They divide the races, if there is such a thing, this race against that race. Why? For control. As long as you're divided, you're easily controlled. Male against female to control you. Old against young to control you. And now the latest. Vaxxed against unvaxxed to control you. You see this? I don't know, 5 to 7 billion people on the planet, man. How can we control all of them? By dividing and separating them. The United States is a battleground. It will be the battleground. I'm not going to get into that part yet, but it's a battleground. See, because if they can conquer the energy that's here, then they can conquer the world. There's a strong will, the energy of will that's here in this part of Atlantis. A will that is hard for them to conquer and break. They're pulling out all the stops. You know, chaos that's happening right now, it's done purposely. And people aren't using common sense, tuning into their spiritual eye. Half the folks don't even have a soul. And that's real. Many have sold their soul off of this material, primitive plane. So now you're going to witness those who've lined up to be inoculated. Something in you is triggering you to go against those who have not been inoculated. Many of you who have taken the experiment, I bet you have big giant screen TVs in your home and it's on all day and all night. And you're monitoring cases and everything that the news program is programming you, you are now regurgitating, saying it to everyone you see, spreading the news of the new war that's upon us. The experimented against the unexperimented. It is so clear to see that you have now walked into your own prophecy. Those of you who have proclaimed to be Christian, Muslim, Jew, whatever it is, and you read your Bible scriptures and you talk about the apocalypse, you have no idea that you have just entered into Revelation 13. And I ain't even Christian, just to keep it a buck. But I know that the prophecies in your Biblos papyrus were all written by the oracles, the great mothers called the Sibyls, the black African prophetess called the Sibyls. And we have returned to watch your demise and your fall. We're witnessing it unraveling because we wrote it. And we're seeing it all manifest. There are many people amongst you who are divided within themselves, easily programmable and controlled, and they want to control you. Why? Because they're scared. They're scared because they lined themselves up to take something They were feared into taking it. Now that they've taken it, they're scared even more. And it's just the rabbit hole goes deeper and deeper. There's no way out. There's no way out for you. There's no way out for you. You made your choice, but guess what? You were destined to do this. We were all destined to be here at this time, right here, right now, to witness the events taking place. We're all doing what we're supposed to do. So everyone who said, you got to prepare, you got to store food and water, you should have been doing that anyway. But how much food and water can you really store before this thing is over? This is a soul evolution and journey. Will you make it to the other side? Will I make it to the other side? Will I meet you there? Will we stay here? Only time will tell. But I guarantee you this. You look up in them skies. You can tell that something is here. Something is changing the dynamics. And there's this push and this rush against time. Because those that are pushing this agenda know that their time is up. Ain't no more running out. It's up. That's why you have them fleeing to Mars. We're going to colonize Mars. You trying to escape what's coming. You already sold out your people. I'm talking about the Caucasians. Let's keep it real. Your government's been sold y'all out. That's why y'all the only ones getting abducted. Black people don't get abducted like that. They've made contracts and deals with extraterrestrials. Now, there's extraterrestrials that's dominated all the governments and all your major corporations. It's become extremely draconian. And it's this race to put this thing in you. And they're using fear and intimidation to do it because this is what they feed off of. But your ancient ones who seeded this planet, not just them. We got Pleiadians, right? We got Arcturians, Lumerians, Lyrians, Syrians, Anunnakis, and they're all at war. Just like we're at war down here. They're at war to take over this plane because they don't want, some want it to raise to the next dimension, some don't. Some want to keep it locked in. Earth is aligned to certain vortexes, portals, stargates, and even black holes. There's some that want to take it into the black hole. There's some that's fighting against it. They're talking about new Earths and new this and new that. There's a lot of truth to everything. Everyone has a definition on which sentient being is light, which sentient being is dark. When you fight in light and dark in yourself. There's nothing totally full of light and there's nothing totally full of darkness. If you're full of darkness and have no light, then you have no light source. If you're full of light and no darkness, darkness is what sustains the light. Chew on that. Food for thought. Now, what I'm saying may not touch any of you. What I'm saying may touch one of you. But just know, this is not the end. This is really the beginning. You have the choice which path you're going to follow. You're going to elevate, raise your vibration and frequencies, and rise to the highest dimensions you possibly can. Or you're going to let fear and intimidation keep you trapped in the paradigm where you become nothing more but food for, I would say the gods, but they're not gods. Food for other beings and entities. Don't think the governments are acting alone. They've signed deals and contracts. Do your research. Everything is out there. Age of Aquarius, the age of information. Yes, there's a lot of disinformation. That's why you have to use discernment. You don't have discernment. You can't think for yourself. You don't follow your intuition, your gut. Then you'll be lost and confused, straddling the fence. And that, my friend, is the worst position that you can be in. So what do? You find your soul group and you connect and you network. That's the other side of Aquarius, Uranus, network. It's coming together as a collective. This is not an individual thing, even though you must show your uniqueness and your individuality, but you're supposed to bring it to the collective and form your network and your nodes, hence blockchains. Yes, there will be two worlds. Which one will you be in? The one that they create for you, or the one that you create for yourself? Let freedom reign.